Welcome back to Pulse Points. This is installment number 2. And some of you may remember a few weeks ago I posted a video about my complete loadout for my radio bag. I was part of the comms contingent for the San Diego street dancing. Well, I found a couple of things wrong, few problems, and that's why you need to test your gear. Last time we talked about the mindset that all the gear in the world isn't going to make a difference if you don't have that preparedness mindset. Now, once you have the gear, you have to know how to use it. Not only do you have to know how to use it, but when you configure it, you need to test it out. I read many years ago, remember people were making those little Altoid survival tins. Well, I read in one article, it says, well, when you're done making yours, make another one, and that's the one you actually go out and test and see that if it works or not. So let's grab my bag here. If you remember, and I will have the link to that video so you can watch that full loadout. I had my tourniquet pouch and shears here on the backpack strap, and it looked good, but it wasn't, and I'll tell you why. So I had the backpack on and it put that pouch right about here. So not only was it always in my peripheral vision, but every time I moved, it's rocking back and forth. So what I did, the solution right now anyway, I put it on the back. So at first, I put it on the first aid kit itself, but I didn't like that because once I was done, I realized I had the main part of the backpack, the second part of the backpack, the first aid pouch, and then the tourniquet pouch. So I had 4 layers of pouches off the back. So what I did, with a quick release buckle, throw that open, I removed the top row of those attachments that are for my antenna tubes, and I connected the tourniquet pouch and shears right here. So now it's out of my way, it's not in my face, it's protected under the flap because it rained that day too. One quick release and it's exposed. It's here. First aid pouch is here. Everything is pretty much in one spot. So I can't emphasize enough. If you remember, those of you who are in the military, years ago when I was in the Army, we would set up our LBE. Yeah, I'm that old. We had the pistol belt, we had the suspenders, and we had all kinds of little pouches. And you would always set your stuff up. It would look good, but then when you put it on, you had to feel it out. Make sure everything was in reach and it worked well. It's just like you go to the store, you buy a pair of hiking boots, you know, they might feel good in the store and walking around for a few minutes, but then on your first hike, you end up with a bunch of blisters. Now, let's move on to the second piece of gear that I had a problem with, and that was my half headset. It was fine for me. It was comfortable. I had a baseball cap on, but the ICP, Integrated Command Post, said that my audio was muffled and they had a difficult time hearing me. Could have been because this little sock that's on the microphone fell off in my room before I left. So when I took it out of the case, it wasn't there. So I had the exposed microphone. That could have been part of it. I will find a way to keep that on there better. Or it could be the fact that it's an 800 peso headset, about $15 or so. So it could be the quality of the headset itself. I don't know yet. I'll use it again, make sure that I have the little sock on here, and we'll see how that works. So that day, it was a pretty benign environment. It was street dancing. We were in the city. We had a lot of support. I wasn't out in the wilderness somewhere. I wasn't calling in airstrikes, anything like that. So it was a good proving ground. And I proved two things that I needed to adjust. So now I've moved my tourniquet and shears. I'll test the headset again in a little bit more controlled environment. Maybe on a nightly net call, I will use that and see if my audio is any better. If not, maybe it's time to junk that headset and upgrade, or next time I'll just use my hand mic. So that's all for today's pulse points. I want you to remember, have the mindset. That's from last time. But when you get your gear, you've got to test it out. So again, the gear does you no good unless, one, you know how to use it, and two, it works for you. Okay? So this is Preparedness Pulse, and I'll catch you on the next beat.